Growing up, there were two characters I always wanted to be: Master Chief and Optimus Prime. These two were some of the most iconic science fiction designs in media at the time. And now, almost 2 decades later with Halo Infinite and the upcoming Transformers Rise of the Beasts, to me at least, they still are. But what if we combine these two? What if Transformers wore Spartan armor from Halo? It's time to Halo-fy Transformers. Greetings, Vernissage here. In this episode of the Halo-fying series, we'll be taking a look at 6 different Transformers, both Autobots and Decepticons, and redesign them to make them fit the world of Halo. Now, a Halo-fying Transformers video could mean a lot of different things, such as turning Halo's iconic roster of vehicles into transformable robots, but for this video in particular, we'll be turning some of the most iconic Transformers into Spartans, so less of a focus on the whole transforming aspect. If you'd like to see a video regarding Halo's vehicles, however, let me know in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. But on the topic at hand, I've chosen 3 Autobots and 3 Decepticons to Halo-fy. And to help me along this journey, I gathered my Spartan 2 patrons and Discord mods, and we've been working hard to get this out to you guys, so if you end up liking the video, be sure to give it a like and also subscribe to the channel. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Halo-fying Transformers is tough, and there's no better example of that than Bumblebee, because most, if not all, Transformers have seen wildly different takes over the years. And for Bumblebee, his big redesign came with the Michael Bay movie in 2007. This design would be reimagined once again for a standalone movie in 2018, where we saw a more round design. Seeing as this is, at the time of me recording this video, his latest design, and in my personal opinion his best, I'll use this as my main source of inspiration. And here's my design. While being unmistakably Bumblebee, this halification is very much toned down to go along with the human proportions. Taking a look at the helmet, I tried to nail down the most important aspects while still simplifying the more messy parts. The mouth area being one of said parts, I turned it into one solid part of the helmet, smoothing out that entire area. As for the eyes, they were a little tougher. For most of these Transformers, I had to choose to either turn the eyes into actual eye attachments or just regular visors, and I ended up choosing the latter. I of course took some inspiration from Halo 3's and 4's EOD helmet. I then just brought down the more exaggerated aspects of the helmet and replaced the Autobot symbol with the UNSC logo. As for the rest of the body, the same design language was used. I tried keeping the round look of the source material the best I could, while also making it a little more angular in some places. And to give it an extra dimension, I included some silver details to make it pop even more. Bumblebee has always been a fan favorite, so I hope my halification can live up to those expectations. Let me know what you think of this design. Now, for a personal favorite of mine, SOUNDWAVE. Ever since seeing his depiction in the Bumblebee movie, I've wanted his look to somehow make its way into the world of Halo, so I knew I couldn't mess this up. And here's my design. Before work begun, I nailed down the most important aspects of SOUNDWAVE's design I had to include, and these were his chest, his shoulder-mounted cannon, and his head as a whole. Speaking of, I kept his helmet very close to the source material, including the blood-red luminous visor. And to give it a touch of Halo-ness, I added a UA Type B1 attachment, along with some antenna pieces on the side to imitate the horns on the original. For the rest of the armor, I tried to keep the color scheme as close to the original as I could, while also making everything more compact. For the cannon, I simply went ahead and used the one we see on the Orion armor. And the chest, while slimmed down, still has its yellow parts. But seeing as these aren't meant to transform, I didn't want to put a window there, so I gave him some kind of metal piece instead. Even in Spartan form, there is no doubt SOUNDWAVE is a force to be reckoned with. Let me know what you think about this design. When starting this project, there was one Decepticon people kept telling me they wanted to see, STARSCREAM, and I couldn't agree more. But just like Bumblebee, this Transformer had seen wildly different takes, and I knew I had to choose one as my main source of inspiration. And seeing as his face looked the most unique in the Bay movies, I chose that design. However, for the rest of the body, I made sure to include aspects from all iterations. So here's my design. Like mentioned, I used many different iterations of STARSCREAM to arrive at this halification. For example, I took the subtle blues of the Prime iteration and the wing-like parts from G1. But the helmet was almost entirely based off of the Bay movies. I made sure to simplify the insectoid parts of the original and turn his eyes into a slim visor, which kept his sinister look intact. The original has some golden parts in it, but to make it look a little more grounded, I turned that into yellow paint, which I added to his entire body. To once again pay tribute to the Prime version, I made his armor spiky in some places, which also made him look even more terrifying. And to honor the original color scheme, I made sure to include some red in the form of lights, scattered all over his body. If STARSCREAM wasn't menacing already, he sure is now. Let me know what you think of this design. Now, let me just transform into something a bit more comfortable. And would you look at that? It's none other than Manscaped, the global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscaped offers the best tools and liquid formulations for the big three odor zones: your body, butt, and balls. Manscaped hooked me up with a bunch of stuff from their all-in-one performance package 4.0, so let's see what's inside. Straight away, every single product in here just feels sturdy and of premium quality. And speaking of, let me introduce you to my friend, Lawnmower 4.0 Body Trimmer. This bad boy is Manscaped's 4th generation electric and waterproof trimmer with advanced skin-safe technology, which reduces nicks and cuts on the most sensitive regions on the body. And I gotta say, they weren't joking around. I even used it as a beard trimmer, and it didn't hurt once. Here I thought trimming your body hair was supposed to hurt. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer has this really clever cordless charging system, and when fully charged, it will last you up to 90 minutes. And true story, last week when I took the train, I had accidentally turned on my old trimmer. So by the time I arrived at my destination, it was all drained out. But with the travel lock feature, I can avoid this happening again by simply tapping the button 3 times. And besides the lawnmower, you also get the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. It's a wireless nose trimmer with the same skin-safe technology as the groin trimmer. Also included in the kit is the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray, which are 2 products I never knew I needed until now. Simply apply the Crop Preserver after you shower for all-day body odor protection. The Crop Reviver is a convenient spritz with cooling aloe vera to quickly refresh the area whenever you need it. For a limited time, you get all this plus 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag and the Manscaped Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. Go to manscaped.com today and get 20% off and free international shipping plus 2 free gifts when you use the promo code WORDNISSAGE at checkout. You can find the link in the description. Huge thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. And remember, always use the right tools for the job. Wait, what if the Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer turns out to be a really small transformer? That'd be adorable. ARCEE is arguably the most well-known Transformer who identifies as female, and has too seen many different iterations. I decided to use the original G1 design as my main reference, seeing as that's the look both the Bumblebee movie and Rise of the Beast seems to be going for. And here's the design. Just like I did with SOUNDWAVE, I tried keeping the classic look as intact as I could. The only issue with ARCEE is the fact that she has an actual humanoid face. So I tried my best to turn that into something that's believable, while also staying true to the original design. Her eyes got the same treatment as Bumblebee's, and just like I did with SOUNDWAVE, I gave her a helmet attachment to ground her in Halo's universe. As for the rest of the armor, I just followed the reference the best I could, while of course Halofying all of it. And to finish it off, I made sure to give her the same pieces on the back as seen on the original. While Halofied, ARCEE's look is very much still present in this redesign. Let me know what you think about this design. being the leader of the Decepticons, there's no way I'm not including Megatron. As usual, Megatron has seen lots of different iterations, so just looking at one of them would do the character injustice. My biggest two inspirations will be his appearance in Prime as well as the Bay movies. And here's the design. Like Starscream, I wanted to focus on the sharp and menacing look, so I went as far as I could with making the armor organic and spiky, while still keeping the art style from Halo. Taking a look at the helmet, I wanted to differentiate him from Starscream as much as I could, so I gave him the same eye treatment as Bumblebee in ARCEE. I also made sure to focus on the most notable aspects of Megatron's design, so I made the mandibles a big part of it. The rest of the armor is, once again, as organic as I was comfortable making it. And as if it wasn't clear already, the red lights scattered across his armor should tell you just how evil this guy is. While smaller in size compared to the original, Megatron as a Spartan still has the biggest silhouette of the bunch. Let me know what you think about this design. And what better way to finish this video off than taking a look at the most iconic Transformer of all, Optimus Prime. Optimus, while seen some variations, has always been more or less faithful to the G1 design, so what better source of inspiration than that? And here it is. This was, without a doubt, the most difficult challenge I had to face during this project. I had to strike a balance between halifying it enough while still keeping what makes Optimus, well, Optimus. I ended up giving him a proper visor, almost separated by a nosepiece. Another important aspect was the mouthpiece, which I kept rather faithful to the original, only giving it some vents and small details. I also went ahead and gave him a black brim to give him some depth in his color scheme. The cheek pieces were, of course, turned into lights to evoke that classic Spartan look, and his horns became antenna pieces to mimic the silhouette of the original. Speaking of, to imitate the shoulder pieces of the original, I gave him a radio attached to it instead, to fit the whole military aesthetic. In the same vein, I turned what's usually his wheels on his calves into pouches, carrying ammunition and such. His chest piece keeps its iconic overall shape, but instead of windows, I made them more of grills or vents. And of course, his color scheme stays as true as possible. While being given a complete makeover, the leader of the Autobots remains as deadly as ever. Let me know what you think about this design. And there it is. Those are the Transformers I halofied for this video. Which one's your favorite? And let me know if you want to see more of these, or even vehicles from Halo turned into Transformers. And a huge thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to use the promo code VERNISSAGE at checkout. Link is in the description. If you want to discuss these designs, then be sure to check out the Vernissage Discord. Speaking of the Discord, huge thanks to my lovely Discord mods and my amazing Spartan 2 patrons for helping me out with these designs. If you also want to be a part of my redesigning process, go check out the different tiers on my Patreon. Link is in the description. Speaking of, I want to thank my Spartan 2s. That one guy, D Marshmallow, Diehard Cold 3, Ripcorded, Hitsuyona Corrento, Azores, Desu, The Lenster 2.0, Coden Wash, Captain Waffles, and Poison Ebony 666. My Spartan 3s, Frog Trodge, Jordan Downey, and The Silent Deep. And my Spartan 4, Liam Fitzpatrick. If you like this video, give it a like. If not, a dislike. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I wish you all the best, and take care. Vernissage, out.